I really need to get a low-quality Senators fan in here.
Hey.
Ugh. Huh. Well, that was easy.
No, not really. You got really drunk and ordered this online, and poof, here I am.
Oh. Neat.
So now what?
You just hang out with the rest of us.
Oh, okay. Well, while I got you, I was wondering, what is this terrible feeling I have in the pit of my stomach since I got here?
Oh, yeah. That's disappointment. You're gonna get used to that. Won't even notice it eventually.
Really?
No, not really.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. 4 in a row, right? 4 in a row? I think that's 4 in a row. Against a Senators team that deeply needed it, man. They deeply needed it. Much like the Sabres, that might be the end of their season. A regulation loss to us. 6 points back of Florida, each with 11 games to play. Saying it out loud, 6 points in 11 games doesn't seem impossible. It surely isn't. But you're asking Florida to, fall way back to earth. They've been doing pretty well, late season push. And you guys have to get hot. And the Senators do not look capable of getting hot right now. They are 4-5-1 in their last 10 coming into this game. They're pretty mediocre at 5-on-5, but both of their special teams rank 7th in the league, that being the penalty kill and the power play. Pretty good on that stuff. But even with those good special teams, they're 18th in the league in goals scored per game and 19th in the league in goals allowed per game. That's not a recipe for winning. They do have a lot of excuses, though, because they have some pretty serious injuries. Forsberg and Talbot are out. That's why Sagard, who I believe that was their 4th string guy and is now, I don't know exactly how that's all worked out. Forgive me for not spending so much time staring at the Senators this year. But the 2 main goalies are out. Norris is and has been out for a while now. Joseph is out and Kelly is out. So some of those are some pretty serious injuries that affect the team quite a bit. For us, Olmark is going to get the start. He was pretty dang good. He was real good. Hall and Foligno are back to skating and likely will be able to come back whenever they want to now if they're healthy enough to. Because Forbort is not expected to return until the postseason. They did not say whether that was first round, but they are hopeful. But that means he's likely going on the injured reserve if he hasn't already, meaning there's money to bring back Hall or Foligno if either one are capable of doing so. Hall is the one skating with the group in a red non-contact jersey, though. So I think Hall is a little ahead of Foligno in that regard. Orlov Clifton will be the third pair once again. Bertuzzi back to the third line. Zacha back to the second. Krejci is back in. Greer is out. Lauko is in. Lauko would only get 6 minutes. We're going to talk about that a little later. One other quick thing. Fanatics has been partnered with the NHL. The NHL partnered with Fanatics. They needed to re-up their jersey deal as far as the authentics, the on-ice stuff goes. And they have chosen pretty much the worst option they had. Fanatics is a shady company through and through. I mean, I own Fanatics jerseys, don't get me wrong, but they rose to power doing some weird crap. They have terrible quality when you're expecting better quality because their pricing is outrageous for what they actually give. And although I expect the authentic on-ice stuff to still be pretty solid because you obviously want the guys on the ice wearing the best you can get, I assume their pricing, I almost just died there. I don't know why. I assume their pricing is still going to be ridiculous and it's just going to go up from here for the replica crap. If you like Fanatics and you've bought a bunch of Fanatics, I'm not judging you. I have said on the podcast, hey, they're good jerseys if you just want to spend $60 on someone who's reselling one and just have like a pond hockey kind of jersey on. Great. But to spend $200 for one of their knockoffs is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Their quality's shit, and I'm really disappointed by this. Personally, I was hoping that they would look in the direction of maybe a smaller time manufacturer that's in North America. I would love some local stuff. Canada or US, just get somebody local involved. I know it's pricier, but you can afford it. Like, just, God, can we not have something that's... Anyway, I get sick of the outsourcing of everything. It makes me sad. After the game, Monty made some comments about how much we relied on Olmark after this one. Olmark had 39 saves, almost 40. I don't know what the final number they gave him was. I disagree with Monty on some stuff. We're going to get to that at the end, but I saw this game through a different lens than I thought a lot of people did. Maybe because I'm stupid. Who knows? Puck drops! 1 or 2 in! Grizz for interference, and it was interesting because it was clear that the Sens were going to attack Grizz physically immediately. He's playing top pairing moments with McAvoy. They wanted to force him into mistakes. They were going at him hard, and early on, he ends up taking an interference call that was very well helped along. But we kill it. Who cares? 8:55 into the first period. Gambrell, it's a track meet so far, first of all. Shots left and right, going up and down the ice. And Gambrell is going to get his first goal in 49 games. Yeah, that's crazy. It's just a dump in after Zacha turns the puck over in the neutral zone. And I don't really blame anyone. Everyone's a little flat-footed. Zacha shouldn't have turned it over. It is what it is. It's a dump in that Gambrell just gets there first, right? Because he's already facing that direction. And the puck comes from the right side. Olmark's tracking it and bounces behind the net towards the left. So Olmark looks over his left shoulder. And Gambrell, with some beautiful edge work, nice speed, just comes flying around the net, picks up the puck, and swoops back over to Olmark's right side. So he's looking the wrong way, comes back, tries to get to the post, and does get there, but not quite enough. There's a tiny bit of space that Gambrell's able to shove the puck into. It's 1-0, about 9 minutes into the game, and that is all they'll get. That's it. That's all you guys get. You better hold on to that lead. And with about 10 minutes left, Kostelic is going to go for holding. I love the look of shock on his face when they called this. He's like arguing with the ref, and then the replay goes, and you're like, that is blatant. What? I'm not going to lie. I was that guy sometimes. I used to argue with the ref about stuff where I'm like... I remember one time in particular, this is soccer, this wasn't even hockey, where I flat out palmed a soccer ball to make sure it didn't go in the net. And then I'm arguing with the ref like, it was incidental! It wasn't, and I got kicked out of that game. Red card, baby. 58 seconds left of a very good power play. They did get a clear off, but the first minute or so, we are really like moving the puck well. We're skating in circles. We're moving our feet. It was a really good power play so far. But Pasta is tripped up by Stützle. We're going to have 5v3 for 58 seconds. I expected for us to play catch for all of that time, because that's typically what we've done on 5-on-3s. And Monty calls a timeout. He wants to keep the first unit out there clearly. And I think he's recognized the power play shortcomings, as you would. And I don't know if they've been focusing on 5-on-3 all that much. I think they've been so focused on 5-on-4 that I doubt they're really working up plays on the 5-on-3. So maybe that's what he wanted to do, is get in someone's ear, be like, no. They're fading one direction towards Pasta. Let's move it to Krejci, whatever. They switch Krejci and DeBrusque on that top unit. So 5-on-3. And it takes about 29 seconds. They do get one clear, but we get back into the zone. And Lindholm for the top of the slot, just a hard shot on net. Bergeron is laying that screen right in front of Sagard. It ends up bouncing. I think Sagard makes a save here, but it ends up bouncing over to Sagard's right, where Krejci is there to dive at it and smack it into the net. It is 1-1 on a power play goal. And we don't do anything with the rest of the power play because we still got a minute and 30 of 5-on-4 time, but no dice. But 4:08 left. There's not a lot of ways to explain this play other than the top line is in sync, and Marchand is so good at hockey. We take the zone after, I believe it was Lindholm created a turnover, but we take the zone. Marchand on the right point. As soon as he gets over the blue line, he settles, looks up, and sees DeBrusque flying past Tkachuk on the left side. Tkachuk even looks over his shoulder and sees DeBrusque and continues gliding, because probably expecting that Marchand can't make this pass. And it is a perfect, led him perfectly, tape to tape, right on the stick. DeBrusque gets behind Tkachuk, receives the pass, and just pulls it across his body. Sagard goes down, and he dunks it. It's 2-1, and that's your game. That's your actual... I hate to actually do this. That is your game. Not only is it the final score, but the rest of the game is a track meet. I mean, okay, shots were 16-11, them, after one, right? Second period starts. 4 minutes in, Giroux, contested breakaway with Carlo draped all over him. Ullmark stones him 5-hole. 7 minutes in, Giroux, another one. This time, looking like a long breakaway, but DeBrusque comes all the way back with speed to somehow disrupt this. He had like 2 car lengths on DeBrusque, and still DeBrusque gets there in time to disturb it. No shot actually gets taken. 4:28 left, too many men on the ice for the Boston Bruins. We're going to go to the penalty kill. We kill it. And it's 2-1 after 2. And the shots are 37-26. They had 37 shots through 2 periods. We allowed, I believe, 4 shots in the third period. Like, we just closed the door. We closed the door. And it's not like they didn't have any chances, but they didn't have any chances from in tight. Again, I think Ullmark played a really good game, but the defense didn't break down the way 37 shots reads the way it would, right? Third period, 2:19 in, Clifton draws a tripping call, power play, don't do shit with it. 8:30 in, Sens have taken 1 shot at this point, but Sagard has already had 6, maybe 7 saves that were just really nice. Guy's playing his mind out. 9 minutes in, Chychrun for tripping, drawn by Marchand. We're not going to do anything with the power play. 2:05 left. Scary time to take a penalty kill. Coyle for holding, and we crush that penalty. And that's your game. Game notes. Ullmark is 35-5-1 now. That's silly. After the game, Monty said he bailed us out. In more or less words, right? He was really good. He had to be. He bailed us out. We could lean on him. All this good coach stuff. Because he had so many saves. But go look at the shot chart for this game. And if you want, go rewatch the game. Watch every single shot the Senators took. I'm not saying they never had any scoring chances. They didn't make any big saves. But to say that he's the reason we won this game is a little weird. Because although he was good and better than what most goalies would be, we kept everything to the outside. There was the occasional, like, oh, he's got to make a real save here, but the defense bent a lot. They didn't break. The expected goals was below 2. And I know I'm one of those people that doesn't love that stat, but I thought Ullmark was really good. I thought our defensive structure and defense wasn't what you would expect from 40 shots taken through the game. I thought they were really good, and they were just sneaking through some shots from distance or from weird angles. I didn't think this was as hard a game for Ullmark as we're making it out to be, is what I'm saying, I guess. And Sagard, on the other end, had to make some huge fucking saves. I thought Sagard was the better goalie through the game because he had a harder job. I don't know. It's not an insult to anyone. I just was really surprised to hear Monty say that because a lot of shots doesn't always mean a difficult night. It just doesn't. The other big game note, because there's not a lot to take from this game. I mean, right now we're either playing teams that we measure ourselves against for the playoffs or, well, we don't. And tonight we didn't. Didn't matter what the result of this game was going to be. No one cared. Like, the Sens cared, sure, but for us, this game didn't mean anything. So, I mean, nice to get the 2 points. Nice to get out of there healthy as far as I can tell. So, that's good. But we're going to have a couple games like this over the next couple of weeks where we just go, all right, like, you care. The regular season matters. Like, you enjoy watching the games, but you don't really care about the result quite as much. Either way, the other big game note is Lauko had about 6 minutes of ice time. Maybe exactly 6 minutes of ice time. He is really fun to watch offensively. He's got a creative eye. He always wants to shoot at the net. We love that. He's a good trigger man, and he has got a good shot. He goes right to the dirty areas. Isn't afraid of a fight. Isn't afraid of contact. Like, you like a lot about what he brings. The reason he had 6 minutes in this game, in my opinion, I'm not on that coaching staff, obviously, is because defensively in transition, he was lost. Defensively in our zone, he was lost. And just the plays coming through the neutral zone in general, he was a step behind. It was clear that he did not have it tonight. And when you're young and trying to make the team and on the fourth line that usually only gets 10 minutes a game anyway, buddy, if you're not getting special teams time, like, your minutes going to be low. And if you start making mistakes like that, yeah, your minutes going to be real low. So I thought it was a pretty tough game for him, and the lack of ice time didn't surprise me. Again,
If I'm Monty, I kind of say screw it with that anyway and prefer to have that fourth line out much more than I have my top 9 out. But that's just because we're resting right now. So these guys are still competitors, though. You're going to have a hard time explaining to Bergeron why he played 9 minutes or something like that. So you do the best you can. But Lauko's lack of minutes should not be a topic of conversation this time. I was on that side with the last couple of games he played, that he deserved more minutes. Tonight, I don't think he did. Montreal comes to TD Garden on Thursday. I'm really expecting to see a couple guys rested here. These are emotional games. They get heated. I really, really do expect to see at least one of our top 6 guys get rested and Zaboral to slot back in for one of our defensemen getting rested. I really expect to see that. Either way, should be a fun one. Again, a result that you might not care too much about, but it is the Habs, and you love beating the Habs. So we'll see how that goes. Go Bees! Go Bees!